Okay, so let's do this quick. Get this shot. Shibata and Sakuraba is my main event for the IWGP title at the Tokyo Dome planned for 2015. Why am I choosing shooter versus shooter? Why am I putting tag partners together? Why am I doing it? In my research of Tokyo Dome shows that have done well, and even in times when the perceived business of New Japan has not been very good, uh, and Dave Meltzer mentioned this in a podcast recently, how much of a draw at the Tokyo Dome matches that are based on a lot of realism, be it MMA crossovers, advertised shooters being brought in, or just some really hot feuds that kind of blurred lines as well. Uh, so so I didn't necessarily have a interpromotional thing in mind that can main event the Dome and get a hot crowd necessarily. I mean, there are, but keeping with the talent that I think I can most realistically have, because I can't predict how many guys they're going to bring in. Um, and I just think about Sakuraba's a draw. Um, he just is, and you do him and Shibata uh, in this big Tokyo Dome match built up, um, and he's gonna draw. He's gonna be over. He'll be one of those Tokyo Dome main events that he can be one of those guys who pushes you back up towards a 50,000 seat Tokyo Dome show. A 50,000 paid show. Um, I mean, you're gonna have plenty of guys to have really good pro style stuff, and you're still gonna have Tanahashi, and you're still gonna have Nakamura, you're still gonna have Okada, you're still gonna have guys who can be names in the pro style. But we're gonna go through with Shibata and Sakuraba because I think that can draw one big dome show. Sakuraba won't go over. I never thought this in the first place, but when I book this match, I'm just like, no, Sakuraba's not the guy to take the belt off Shibata. He's not a good enough. He's a really underrated worker, but he's not nearly. He can't fill the spot like Shibata can. The guy who is the crossover combat sport athlete. He's not Shibata in that way. Um, but I think he's a guy that will get you a hot Tokyo Dome main event that can sell. So I'm gonna have Shibata over Sakuraba. I would do sort of a surprise KO. Like he'll knock him out. It'll be definitive that he's knocked out. There will be no question about it. But we'll make it kind of out of nowhere because you got to protect Sakuraba regardless of losses. Um, you just have to. I think that's a political thing you got to play. So there's that. So there you go. And Shibata goes over. So now we've just wrapped up Wrestle Kingdom 9, 2015. Shibata has held the title for a year. Where do we go? So I would like, this is where it's kind of really open ended, and I would love to hear you guys' opinion on, where this ends. And you guys see who I've kind of exhausted for title defenses in the Shibata title reign, but I've saved guys like Naito has rebuilt. Ibushi, I'm going to keep real strong. Once Goto loses to Sakuraba, I'll probably build him right back up. Um, you're probably asking why I didn't already do Goto Shibata during the title reign. Why I didn't complete the series like they did this past, Wrestle Kingdom show a couple days ago. Yeah. After Dominion 2011, when Tanahashi beat Goto to retain the title, that was the show when Goto needed to win and he didn't. And even worse, they put him up against Okada in May of 2012 and had him lose again. And I thought that was a bad choice. So having him, it's bad enough. I'm just really uncertain about what they're going to do with him now to have him main event the next show in real life New Japan with Okada, because you can't beat him anymore. You can't put him in a title match and then beat him. You just you can't put him in a world. You know, the next time you put him in a world title match, he has to win. Uh, he can't lose any more title matches, or else he's completely dead. Honestly, I thought he was dead after he lost. I thought he was dead after he lost to Tanahashi, and I thought he was massacred after losing to Okada. But the Shibata feud really helped him build back up, which is great. Um, but I wouldn't have him defend for the challenge for the title unless I'd put him over. So I want to say that uh, we got the anniversary show, we got the April pay per view, we got May, and May is also an old traditional Tokyo Dome show day. They would do, May 2nd, May 3rd, something like that. They would, late April, early May, they would run a Tokyo Dome show, 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s. Um, so, if possible, I want Shibata losing the title in a dome show, but just do it in late April, early May. Um, and I, you know, and I, considering how many gaijin there are, and even you still could use Kojima if you don't job him out too hard in that tag match I booked. Um, there are guys for Shibata to face. Uh, you could put him on a string of gaijins after this. Just have him face a bunch of gaijins. Um, more outsiders. You got the lucha guys. You can do a lot of stuff to fill that time between Tokyo Dome. That 4 or 5 months between Tokyo Dome and when you're gonna get the belt off him. Who he drops the belt to, I would love to hear you guys' opinion. But I would say my top three candidates are Tetsuya Naito, Hiroki Goto, and Kota Ibushi. I told you I'm giving Ibushi a really strong run in the G1, potentially like Final Four kind of situation. Maybe he loses a match to he's one match away from the G1 Climax final. Um, and man, after that Nakamura match and being chosen by uh, Tokyo Sports as match of the year, I think is huge. And the match itself proves that this guy's got something. And that was when he was in there with Nakamura. You can get a similar thing out of him with Shibata, and yeah, Ibushi wouldn't be champ forever. Kind of like how, in one of my options I had, Naito as champ for 3 months. Um, but man, I think Ibushi, built well, could be the guy to dethrone Shibata. And of course, over the course of the year, you tone down the high flying thing. I would amplify, other finishers that he has. He's gonna have to drop the junior strap, all that stuff. But the guy can kick. He can throw a suplex. He can do a mean power bomb. Uh, his facial expressions are getting better, so he can work that kind of big dome style where you gotta play to the big screen a lot in those huge giant domes. Um, but that's my argument for Ibushi being the guy. Naito uh, could be rebuilt, and Goto, if you're gonna put the title on him, do it, and do it with Shibata, especially after they've teamed. I think would work out good. Um, so there's that, and so I hope you guys enjoyed it. I think, I don't know, in a time where New Japan can upscale, I think this is one path that can be taken to really succeed at that. So I'm gonna get back to watching Raw, and hope you guys enjoyed it. Good to be back. I'll see what I can talk about at another time. But just until then, let's make it better. Later.